Welcome back. We highlighted this building earlier this month as the birthplace of Black History Month, but there's even more to this YMCA on Wabash. It was once home to one of the greatest American athletes ever, cyclist Major Taylor. Now supporters are working to make sure the name is never forgotten. Let's get live to CBS 2's Jamaica Ponder. She's at Park Boulevard with how his memory is living on. Good morning, Jamaica.
Good morning. This Y right behind me was home to one of the greatest American athletes ever. And so it's fitting that it's now the site where his supporters and his family are working to codify his legacy into American history and ensure that he's never forgotten again.
The Wabash YMCA on Chicago's South Side was once home to the greatest American athlete of his time, Marshall Major Taylor.
Major Taylor belongs to all of us.
Today, it's where his supporters have come together to solidify his legacy for generations to come.
His pain should be rewarded.
The first Black American to win an international sports championship, Major Taylor dominated the global cycling scene at the turn of the 20th century.
And it was so unusual for a young African-American boy to be accepted as he was eventually in his career. And he had to work pretty hard to get there.
Karen Brown Donovan is Major Taylor's great-granddaughter. She and her mother came into town specifically to celebrate and preserve his legacy.
I've always thought that circumstance is what ended up resulting in the cycling career that he had.
Despite being the fastest cyclist in the world, American racism inevitably caught up to Taylor, forcing him to compete overseas. And it didn't take long before he was the cycling world champion. Despite his success and popularity at the time, Taylor has been overwhelmingly left out of the story of Black history. But this room full of his family and supporters are working to change that.
We're getting signatures. We need signatures from all around the country, from the congressional leaders, Democratic or Republican, to support the initiative to honor Major Taylor.
Darius Lawrence of the Major Taylor Cycling Club of Chicago represents one of several Major Taylor advocacy groups across the city working to keep his legacy alive, brought together today by the Bronzeville Trail Task Force.
Is working on a congressional initiative to get Major Taylor honored through a Congressional Medal of Honor, and they're also going to try to get a stamp in his name and honor as well.
It's very important for people to know about Major Taylor. Even if he was not related to me, he had an extraordinary life.
Donovan was the first to sign the new Change.org petition compelling Congress to codify Taylor's legacy into U.S. history and ensuring we all know the story of the original African-American sports champion, Marshall Major Taylor.
It felt really great. I just felt kind of like I was doing it on all of their behalf. Major's, my grandma's, and my dad's.
That Change.org petition is up and running. It has about 1,500 signatures as of today. And that's actually not so surprising because while Major Taylor is not widely known, within the cycling communities, he's quite an icon. And there are over 80 Major Taylor cycling affinity clubs around the world. He's been inspiring cyclists for generations. I'm Jamaica Ponder in Bronzeville for CBS News Chicago.
Jamaica, thanks so much. A name we should never forget. Great story. Thanks for being with us live this morning, Jamaica Ponder.